I'm going to take a couple of questions from our live stream. We got people around the world that are watching. One of those is, what's the biggest problem that you're currently unable to solve?
I think the problem in any established company is the ability to bring in the leadership that can drive these businesses as fast-growing as startups. It used to be, if you go back to the 30 years or 40 years ago for the ITT model, that there were huge advantages of being an industrial complex, right? And those have all essentially gone away because of the platforms we've built. So think about the applications that you use on Android and iPhone. And by the way, Android it comes first in terms of market share. We should add that. Think of the icons. Think of each of those in your mind represents a company that does something exceptional. So it's very difficult in a large company to identify those icons, the equivalent of that, and then organize around them. And so we spend all day trying to identify those people, getting them in the right position. And I think that is a perpetual problem. It's a problem of any large company.
You helped really coin this whole term cloud and this whole movement of cloud computing. Talk to us about what you, way before anybody we're all talking about, until we're blue in the face now, but way before we were talking about, you were talking about it. What are you thinking about now? What is coming? What are you excited about?
Well, every generation is a new computing platform. So when I was a programmer, the new computing platform was Unix, and we were obsessed with Unix. This is, for you all, the predecessor of Linux, which is what you would recognize it as. And I spent a great deal of time as a young executive negotiating with AT&T, getting the platform established, and so forth. And it ruled everything that I had as a programmer. It literally, the interfaces, the platforms, and the work, the languages, this was my job. So for the last 45 years that I've been working in these platform spaces, I understand the power of these platforms because they define both the opportunity as well as the constraints on what you can build. And the industry goes through a series of these transitions. So we had the mainframe revolution, the time-sharing revolution, the PC revolution, and the internet revolution. And the internet revolution should deliver new platforms. It's now clear what that platform looks like, by the way. And that platform is iOS and Android with a fast network and then APIs on the back end, which are known as cloud computing and machine learning. Now, the APIs that I'm describing on the back end are not file system commands and things like that. These are extremely powerful, what I would say subroutines, the modern term is methods, which allow you to build systems that scale in computation. So we just announced, for example, as part of our Docker Kubernetes work, as part of Google Cloud, a set of systems where you basically write something as a method, if you will, and then the system is so good at scheduling, it knows how many to run, how many to tell you when they're done, and so forth and so on. This frees the programmer to work at a higher level. So the history of programming is always the programmers have more and more stuff below them that helps. The next layer, by the way, is machine learning, which is one of the things that we should talk a little bit about, that we just released a library called TensorFlow, which is open source, and again, much of the innovation in this industry is in open source. We gave it, by the way, to our competitors who are using it, which they are welcome to do. And obviously, we offer TensorFlow on top of our platform. Some of those people are now offering their libraries on top of our TensorFlow on top of our platform. So the platform just gets stronger and stronger, and that's what cloud computing is about. The math is pretty interesting. The traditional IT business that's been built up over the last 20 or 30 years is some number of billions of dollars. It's like a very large number, 500 billion, some number like that, and depending on what numbers you use. Cloud computing is a very small component of that today. It's 4% or 5%. So for the next 5 to 10 years, all of the older systems, the ones that I sold in my previous companies, are going to be replaced by these cloud computing systems, and our market share will go from very low today to much higher and higher and higher.